Welcome to my channel, Achino Ogola the lawyer, Karibuni Sana. And I know it has been a long while since we posted on Monday for legal matters. So today we got you, and it's an interesting topic that maybe some of us are ignorant about. And of course, we'd like to learn more about this. So today I have Senior Counsel John Chigiti with me, and you're going to be talking about intersex persons and the law. If you enjoy the video, like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to my channel, Senior Counsel, and I'm glad to have you here. And of course, I'm also glad to be having this conversation with you because, as you could tell even before we had this conversation, I was not fully aware about this subject, but of course, we are going to educate our viewers because, as you've said, information is power. And yes, we are here to ensure that our viewers and at large, maybe Kenyans or people around the world, are familiar with this topic. So before we begin the interaction, I'd like you to introduce yourself to my viewers.
Greetings all. My name is John Chigiti, Senior Counsel. I'm an advocate with 23 years standing. I'm also counsel at the African Court and counsel at the International Criminal Court, the ICC. I serve as a board member of the Legal Resources Foundation. I am a director at the Trial Advocacy Training Institute, where we train advocates on trial advocacy. I have my law firm in Nairobi, where we have the bulk of work around human rights, around housing, minority groups, special interest groups, children, and a host of other items. We also do a lot of family law. We are also in the space where we are now doing mediation and mentorship. I am an ex-prosecutor with the Office of the DPP, Sexual Gender-Based Violence Cases. I am proud to be a Kenyan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Senior Counsel, for that elaborate introduction. And so we'll delve directly into the conversation for today, which is around intersex persons and the law. So maybe you'd first start by helping our viewers understand who are intersex persons.
Thank you. Intersex persons are those human beings who are born neither male nor female. They are these persons who are born with ambiguous genitalia. They have gonads which are not exclusively male nor female. Their chromosomal patterns are different from what a man or a woman would have. So that now we are happy in Kenya, we have a definition of who intersex persons are under the Persons Deprived of Liberty Act 2014. Thank you.
So maybe now, Senior Counsel, you would like to tell us, do these people have legal documentation in Kenya? Because of course, in some birth certificates previously, a child will either be male or female. So are they recognized, or do they have registration in Kenya?
As a matter of fact, that lends the fountain of the problem and the nightmare and the dilemma that these people have to contend and live with. Whenever a man, a boy or a girl is born, they are issued with a document known as an acknowledgement of birth slip. It contains M and F, male, female. It is that fundamental document that then informs one's birth certificate. So when you look at your birth certificate, we can clearly see who you are. We can clearly see your male, female status. And these two fundamental documents are regulated by a law in Kenya known as the Registration of Births and Deaths Act of Kenya. So for the intersex person, they find themselves in a crack. They don't know which box to check. Is it male? Is it female? And because of that fundamental challenge, they find themselves without recognition documentation, or they are entered in the wrong entry as male or female. But down the road in their lives, when the reality in the manifestation of the person's appearances or otherwise comes to fore, the documentation challenge then becomes a big nightmare. And this is especially fundamental because of like school admission. When they don't have birth certificates, it becomes a challenge. If they have one which is wrongly entered, when they reach class 4, class 5, they have a problem because they don't look like that document of identification. So indeed that lends into very many other problems which they are faced with.
Okay, so there's a judgment that was delivered, which is actually petition number 266 of 2013, and of course you participated in that case as counsel. So maybe would you like telling us about that case and also the outcome of that judgment?
Thank you very much. I was acting for the little baby known as baby A in that petition. We went to court because of first, that challenge that I've just mentioned. Number two, this child was going through a challenge with the Kenyatta National Hospital, because what happens when an intersex child is born, parents find themselves in a dilemma. Do we take this child to surgery? Do we hide this child? Do we kill this child? Or do we hide this child? What exactly are we going to do with this child who does not fit into the very accepted setting? So for baby A, the parents chose the lean path of the blade. The child was taken into surgery. But there were challenges because of the results of the tests which did not tell exactly who this child was. And down the road, I caught up with this child and we went to hospital because we wanted the law, the judges, to define to us who intersex persons are and what their rights are as creations and not as people from Mars. So we did a lot of submissions, exchanges around the surgery and the fact that we do not have regulations, laws, and or any guiding structure that helps guide the process of the surgery, as a result of which those surgeries end up offending the rights of the bodily autonomy rights of these children. Many questions abound. Who is going to consent to these surgeries? Who is going to give the parental care? Who is going, it's just a space like that. So in his wisdom, the judge, Justice Lenaola, in his finding, gave a very fundamental direction, interdict that the Honorable Attorney General must identify the outfit that is under an obligation to tell us the numbers of the intersex persons in Kenya with a view to achieving acceptance inclusion. And yeah, that is what exactly the judge did.
So out of the judgment, was there a task force that was created? And if so, what are the recommendations of this task force?
Thank you. Indeed, after the task force, the Honorable Judge's finding, the Honorable Attorney General, in compliance and in obedience of the court order, set up a task force. The task force was to go around 47 counties to find out the numbers, the challenges, and the distribution of the intersex persons in Kenya. Indeed, the conversation went well, and there was a result, there was a report, and the report gave inter alia, amongst others, a very fundamental recommendation. And the finding was around the lack of awareness of who intersex persons are. It was cutting across the whole country, across the 47 counties. the challenge was, who are intersex persons? So there was a call in the direction of recommendations of let us create awareness.
Okay, so Senior Counsel, of course the recommendations were let us create awareness. How have you been able to create awareness and therefore maybe be able to reach more people and enlighten people about intersex persons?
Thank you very much. I have done my baby steps alongside baby A in creating awareness through my social media platform, but I realized that indeed I could graduate into writing a book. And the book is right here. It's called The Intersex Persons and the Law in Kenya. And I thought this would create a powerful tool towards creating the conversation, creating awareness to the masses. When you read the book, you'll be able to understand the conversation around the challenges that this special interest group of Kenyans are faced with each and every other day. So the book has a couple of chapters. It's written in a very simplified way where any layperson, anybody, a doctor, a scientist, a pilot, Wanjiko, a child can be able to read and understand. And amongst the many chapters in the book, we have a chapter dealing with the definition, a chapter dealing with discrimination, a chapter dealing with name, identity, a very important chapter dealing with education, which is again a tool of empowerment, chapter on health, the surgeries, right to family, adoption, statistics, and very many other interesting items that are available in this book that is called The Intersex Persons and the Law in Kenya.
Okay.
It is targeting not only the students, it's targeting also lawyers, lawmakers, parliamentarians, judges, doctors, and so on and so forth. And it does not limit itself to Kenya. The beauty is that Kenya has left a footprint in the global platform. We are the first nation that has done the counting of intersex persons in Kenya in the National Housing and Population Census. There's no other country other than Kenya that has done that. In Africa, we celebrate with the first country that is coming up with the strides that we have taken through the conversation. And it's a beauty because it's not only the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature have now woken up and accepted that indeed this child, the intersex child, is a human being.
Wow. Thank you so much for that elaborate discussion about intersex persons. And maybe now as we conclude our discussion, what would you like to tell my viewers or our viewers as regards to intersex persons? And also, like, would you be happy to maybe do litigation or if anyone wants to reach you regarding the same, how should they reach you?
Yes, thank you very much. The Constitution in Article 10 tells us to promote the national values and the principles that we espouse, that we embrace or accept as our guiding principles of governance. One of them is human rights, democracy, and inclusion. Let us get empowered. Let us understand who intersex persons are. The minute we are able to understand them well, we shall embrace them. And when we embrace them, we shall create room for them. They'll start walking with us. They'll be in the classrooms. They'll be in the social centers. They'll be in the bazaars. They'll be everywhere in the employment platform, in the housing sector. We are going to see that indeed, with inclusion, we shall be able to tell the intersex persons that they are equal, like, and to the rest of us in the society. So thank you very much. I'll share my contacts. You can reach out if need be. And let's preach, let's promote, fulfill the rights of the intersex persons. Thank you.
And also, my viewers, in case you'd like to have a copy of the book, we will let you know how you can be able to have the copy. And I hope you've been enlightened regarding the issue of intersex persons and the law. And I hope you also enjoyed the video, and share it and like it and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you very much.